let's just face it, scammers are heartless and care nothing about you. All they care about is where the next dollar's coming from. Here's how to avoid being scammed. Greetings and peace be unto you. This is the Inspiration Show entitled Scammers Part 3. Now, this video has been inspired by a friend of mine named Naya, who basically, she says you got to do something. You got to put the word out there and they'll let people know how to avoid being scammed. Because not saying I'm an expert or whatever at the thing, but I do have some background in either being scammed or knowing people that have been scammed. And I will tell you my small range of knowledge on how to help you in combating such. So let's go with computer scams first. You ever get email where it's from someone you don't know, or sometimes somebody you may know, but they don't have all of the information correct? Meaning that, say your name is misspelled by one letter, many letters, things like that. Maybe they send you an attachment and the attachment doesn't look safe or it just seems weird. You get an email out of the blue from somebody you haven't spoke to in about 5 to 10 years. That's a red flag. Things I usually look for immediately are like if they misspell my name. Anybody that knows me personally will never misspell my name or say my name wrong. Also, you got to pay attention to small things. There's people who say my name wrong. They've been saying my name wrong forever. My cousin has not pronounced my name right my entire life, and he still says my name wrong. I don't even bother to correct him anymore. That's my way of, I guess, my safety net, knowing that it is him. But anyways, misspelling of names, emails from people that you don't know. I'm going to tell you, don't open anything if you don't know who it is. Even if you think you know who it is, still don't open it. It wouldn't hurt you to just be a little more cautious and say, hey, John, did you send me something today? Did you send me this picture, such and such, this and that? It won't hurt. Do that. Anything helps. Another one. This is still computer, but let's go into dating a little bit. So say you're on one of those dating apps, POF or what have you. And Dexter St. Jacques, I'm just going to use that. He's telling you how he promises you the world. He wants to fly you out. And to come see him, he has to be with you. He loves you. He needs to progress his love for you in person and all this jazz like that. Well, Dexter St. Jacques just seems too good to be true, right? So then guess what? Usually he is too good to be true, because now he says, well, if you love me, you'll send me X amount of dollars. Sometimes they start off cheap. Sometimes they go right for the jugular and say, listen, I need you to fly me out, round trip, put me up in the best 4 or 5-star hotel, whatever the case like that. And then if you don't fulfill all these things, he don't love them. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. But that's how usually it is with this dating/computer scam. So you really got to watch. And how you watch it is things progressing too fast. Come on. You meet somebody in the street, it doesn't move that fast. It may take you almost a month to get a kiss. These people here are talking about getting married within the first or second email. That's not adding up. It's just not. It takes a while to gain someone's trust or even involvement. It takes a while. If you're jumping out the window just that quick, then something might be wrong with you. So don't blame it all on the scammer. But you need to have your antennas up and be ready for this stuff, because they're out there and they're scamming people left and right and taking their money and, so on and so forth. And I hate to see anybody be a victim. I mean, a lot of times I wish I could just grab these people and just and get them a nice handshake. Yo, but it's it's bad. It's really bad. And what burns me even more is when they go out here and act like impersonate military personnel. I'm a veteran. That bothers me deeply to the core. It's like you can do anything, but don't go out here and act like you're us. Please don't do that. And they don't care. They go out there. They tell people they're deployed, to such and such a place, or they're you know, stationed somewhere. So it's like there's key things to look for. So when it comes to military, God tells you he's a sergeant, for instance, right? Now, usually across the board, sergeant, a plain sergeant will have 3 stripes. Now, I know that it can look a little different with the Air Force versus the Army. If we're talking Army here, because for some reason they try to impersonate us the most, they usually impersonate the Army and the Marines a lot. I don't know why that is, but they'll say I'm their Army sergeant, E5. So that's another thing right there to really help you out. Every level rank has a pay grade and a rank. So if the person says they're a sergeant, ask them which grade. E5, E6, whatever. Ask them like that. If they tell you, oh, none of that, I'm just a sergeant, he's lying. He's full of it. Ask him, what's his job in the Army? What's his MOS? Actually, yeah, throw him right off. Don't even say job. Say MOS, which is military occupational specialty. You ain't got to say all of that. But just say MOS. They'll know. If anybody's been in the military, they definitely know what MOS means. If they tell you they don't, they ain't in the military. They ain't never been in the military. That's what MOS is. That's the job that they do in the Army. Yes, everybody is trained to kill or whatever like that, but you have an actual job in the military. So when someone asks you that magic question, what is your MOS? You should know without breathing. You know. So another thing to ask is, ask them where they're stationed at. And if they say they're deployed, ask them, if you're deployed, say, quote unquote, to a combat zone or whatever the case, how is it that you're able to access social media? Because when I was in the military, we couldn't even use phones. We couldn't use, cell phones were just beginning to come out when I was in the military, but we couldn't even use that stuff. All we could do was write letters, and we can make, I think, a short 5 to 10 minute call through a military line that was secured. That was the only way to make phone calls. We couldn't even access certain websites on the computer, so that was definitely out of the way too. I know things have changed, but I doubt that security has fallen off that badly, that they're allowing you to now, do things like go on Facebook and all this other stuff. I don't think so. They probably won't let you go on none of that. And as far as cell phones, if they don't have an actual secured cell phone, then they're not letting you use your personal cell phone. I don't think so. Unless you're in a certain area or whatever like that. But then, again, if a guy says he's in Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever, I strongly doubt he got time to be on Facebook or time to even be, just randomly calling somebody and whatever the case. I don't believe that. So those are the main things. Another thing you can do is change your passwords frequently. Or if you don't want to go through constantly changing passwords, then give yourself a strong enough password that you don't have to go through having to change it every 3 months or so like that, or worry about it being hacked. Make something that's obvious to you, but not to others. Add a lot of pieces and components to the password, like use exclamation or period signs, like symbols. Use symbols, lowercase and uppercase letters and numbers. Mix it all together. Whatever kind of scheme you want it. But don't make it simple or easy to guess, which I'm pretty sure you've heard that before. Now, they also say you should have different passwords for different things. I don't do that because I'm like, I ain't got the kind of time like that. I try to internalize and memorize everything. So I don't want to have to worry about getting a new password for this, that, or the third. So get something that's strong enough that you don't have to worry about it. You can use that same password for everything you got. I hope these tips work and help you. Remember, I am not part of LifeLock or any of these places like that. I'm just giving you some information. Hopefully it'll help you out. And tread lightly. Don't go out here trying to find love. Not saying you can't find love on the internet, but you better be careful. Be very careful. And watch the progression of things. Don't just jump out the window because it looks so good. All right? Remember, faith, health, wealth, success.